Hey guys, you're watching Our Pagan Opinions, and I know it's Wednesday, but I'm your Tuesday host, and I just screwed up and didn't get to post yesterday, so I'm posting today. Anyway, this week's topic is the death penalty and whether we are for or against it, and how the "and it harm none" rule applies, or whether or not it applies. Now, first off, let me go ahead and say I am for the death penalty. I'll go ahead and explain that. Within our practice, you learn, hopefully that you do learn, that death is not an end. Death is not a bad thing. It is not something to be afraid of. Okay? Because time is not linear. Time doesn't go from point A to point B. It doesn't. Time goes in all directions. So I guess that would include A to B, but that's beside the point. So anyway, yes, time doesn't really have any set path. It's not here to there. It's not like that. So death is merely a major shift in energy. Whether that be something small like an ant dying, or something large like a mass murder, or a building collapsing, what have you. Now, how that relates to the death penalty is that I don't see death as a punishment or a bad thing, because, like I said, death is not something to be feared. It is not something to be toyed with as well, and it's something that should be respected, not feared. And I think that the way that our current society, or at least in the U.S., probably in other countries as well, the way that we use the death penalty in such a bad way to cause harm, because the way that we're doing it is causing harm. Or it's not causing harm, but our mindset is set that we're seeking to cause harm. But I view death as a energy shift, as a change in the way that the energy has manifested within an individual, an object, person, or whatever. So I don't see death as a bad thing. I see death merely as a tool, or rather, I see death as a separate entity of its own. It's like a force. Okay, death is a force within the universe that basically is the catalyst to change. Okay. Along with creation. So, in that respect, you understand that death is not a bad thing. Death is not a punishment. So that's why I don't see death as a punishment, and I don't see it as something that should be used in that manner. I see death being used as a tool, or the death penalty being used as a tool to cause a great change. I believe that if we have criminals, that we should try our best to rehabilitate these people, to get them help, whatever we can, to fix them, because they can be fixed. I don't care what anybody tells you, because nothing is impossible. To be fixed, and I see death penalty as a final, last resort. Nothing else has worked. Let's do this. But again, not a let's do this as in, okay, well, let's try this, maybe this will work. No, this would be like I said, something to be respected and to be not toyed with and taken lightly. Obviously, like I said, death should be used to snuff out energy and to sort of cause the energy to recirculate, to disperse, and then come back in a different way. I think that is hopefully beneficial to us and the individual or whatever. So, in that respect, when you understand that concept, you realize that "and it harm none" doesn't apply to the death penalty, because death penalty is not harming an individual. Because death is not it's not an infliction. You don't inflict death the same way you would inflict sickness or a knife stab, or a gunshot, or a bullet in somebody, or whatever. It's not that sort of thing. Death is not painful. Okay? The process is kind of painful sometimes, but death itself is probably one of the best feelings in the world, from what I can gather. So, I don't see how and it harm none applies here, because death isn't harming anything. It's not. Death is a change. It's a great change. It's a shift in the energy. Okay? That's it. I'm not going to get into any further, because that's all I have to say, and I've done this video like 3 times, and I keep getting interrupted, so this will be it. So, hope you enjoy. Look forward to the rest of the hosts on the week. I'll put up all the links to wherever we're at, all over the place. Facebook and Twitter, my personal channel, whatever you. All those outlets. So, feel free to like our Facebook page, follow us on Twitter, so you can keep up with us outside of YouTube if you aren't on YouTube all the time. So, yeah. That's it. And, love you guys. Blessed be.